Hello, everybody in internet land. Um, so, I've been wanting to do a video like this for a long time, kind of let you know why I'm homeless. I've received some comments, asking me questions about, that I seem well read, well spoken. Um, and how did I end up this way? How did I end up in a homeless sort of situation? And why am I still in it, 8, 9 months later? Well, this video is going to be kind of walking through that and letting you know. Essentially, yeah, I'm homeless now. I made one bad decision. I made thousands of good decisions in my life, but I made one bad one, and I didn't have a backup plan for this. I've had clinical depression for about the last 15 years of my life. Before that, I had general anxiety disorder, GAD, with the clinical depression, it's a serotonin dopamine thing. So it's like, there's two sides of it. The funny thing is that with depression, people think you're just depressed for a time. But I guess the comparison would be like saying, oh, you're OCD, so you're just anal retentive, or ADD or ADHD, or oh, you're just scatterbrained. Oh, you're just hyperactive. It's not. It's a disorder. Major depressive disorder, clinical depression. Call it what you want. It's basically where the dopamine that would normally, like, you eat some ice cream and suddenly you're feeling okay, or you eat some chocolate and you suddenly feel okay. The brain kind of turns on the dopamine, it turns on the serotonin, it turns on the endorphins, and suddenly you're feeling good. Well, in my brain, that stuff doesn't happen. When I eat ice cream, I can't eat ice cream. I'm lactose intolerant, gluten intolerant. I can't eat red sauce, whatever. But what I'm saying is that, let's say I have some chocolate or something, something that would normally make me feel better doesn't. And so I'm at this low point all day, 4 days out of 5. I'm at a very low depressive point. Can barely get out of bed. I also have iron deficient anemia. So that means, no matter how much iron I intake, I'm still low energy anyway. I get cold easy. I'm hyperthermic because of it, not hypothermia, hyperthermia, which means I get overheated very easily and can't get cooled down, or I'll get really cold and start shivering, and I can't get warmed up. And then I've got, leg, back problems. I'm just an old guy. When I walked in 2015, I walked too far in a bad pair of shoes, and that really screwed up my feet, my legs, my back. So I got issues, right? And I've been kind of living with it off and on. I'd live in my car for a while, or I'd live in a tent or something, in different places. And I had an apartment, I had a room for rent kind of thing. I did the gamut. I had a job. I don't have one of those fancy jobs. I can do web design. I'm pretty good at, freelance, call centers. For the most part, the last 10 or 15 years of my life. Before that, I was a QSR, or a fast food manager, and that was satisfying, but it was too high impact for me. And so I segued and then I started having all this depression the last 15 years, right? And yeah, maybe they were tied to traumatic events in my life or whatever, but okay. So I started having all this depression. Well, about 2022, I just got out of this really bad relationship, heartbreaking. It destroyed me emotionally. And that alongside with the depression, I just started having all these suicidal thoughts. I had a job, I had a car, I had a place, I had, not that much money being able to save up, but I was just, I couldn't do anything with my time. I was in bed all day. I had 2 weeks off between jobs, call centers are a certain brand of madness that if you can work that long term, kudos to you, but it's a hard job. But in a segue, and I was in bed the entire time. I couldn't. Sorry, it's getting cold. So I just left it all behind. Previously in my life, I've been able to, walk across America, get in my car and drive, do this and that. The car was on its last leg. It had some kind of transmission problem or whatever. And I was like, well, it's starting to knock a little bit. I can't really see spending $4 to $8 grand to fix this car up when I'm still paying on it. And so I was just like, I can't do this. So I left it all behind. Had a go bag because I'm a prepper at heart, and just took off. And that's when it kind of started. I've been, I stayed with my brother briefly last year. Went to a Christian camp sort of thing for a couple of months, but for the most part, it got to a point where I was just like, okay, I don't have any other options. I don't have any other choices but to be homeless. So I might as well walk across America, right? Instead of just being homeless in one place, I decided to, because I was, with the depression comes wanting to eat yourself into a happy place. And so lots of chocolate, lots of, anyway, I was a bigger guy. I lost about, 40 pounds since then. Maybe I've gone up a little bit, but, and so I've just been living this life, man. Just basically, I started off in Virginia, got my way to Johnson City, had knee problems, had all kinds of problems. I got a job and wanted to stay there longer, but due to my housing situation, i.e. living in a tent, I couldn't stay on. So I just got a ticket, came out here. I've been homeless here before. It's got better options, the transit system. It's just got a better setup. So I went ahead and set up my tent, and yay, good to go. Started doing, I was doing these YouTubes with the Walk Across America, kind of Walk Across America, and segued into this homeless thing. And I just want to share my viewpoints with stuff. People end up homeless. Like, if you knew that because of bad decisions from you or someone else, you don't have a backup system and you're going to be homeless, right? How are you going to deal with that, right? Let's say you got $100 or $200 or $300 before, and you're going to be homeless. How would you handle that? Well, I don't know. I started out making some pretty stupid decisions when I was first homeless. Bathing. I would take a jug of water and put it over my head, and it was stupid. It was naive, and that's the way a lot of people start out. I see a lot of dirty kids and stuff around Portland. They'll go into Winco, and they'll go in and they'll put their head underneath the faucet as if that's going to get it clean. So that's why I have the Hobo bath video, even though, shows my ugly face trying to do a hobo bath. But I'm just saying, my hope is to help people out. It's not to help people, live like a true life Jungle Book and everybody's just chilling, doing the Hakuna Matata from the Lion King. It's not any of that. I'm trying to help people out where I can. I'm not here to make any comments about, the welfare state or the state of, politically. I know that I've spent the last 40 years working and paying taxes, never having any kids, and never really needing any kind of real human services to draw upon. I guess I drive on streets. I went to school at one point, but what is all those years of paying taxes? What did it ever do for me? Okay, I'm in a safe country-ish, right? With Homeland Security, who's really safe, right? But I guess my thinking is that I've never drawn on it. So if I'm getting food stamps now while I'm in need, even if that's 5 years, I don't care. I'm not drawing disability of any sort. I'm just, I'm doing food stamps. I don't owe anybody an explanation for that. I don't owe anybody an explanation for why I'm living in a tent. It just happens, man. And people tend to, I guess the thing that bothers me the most is people tend to lump all homeless people into their worst experiences with homeless people. The guy that kind of like, hey man, you got any change? Got any change, man? Got any change? You know, that sort of thing. Or the ones that are dressed poorly, that don't bathe, that, you know, those people, that those low income people that take advantage of the system. We all know of people like that. We've all heard of people like that. But when you treat everybody like that, when you make a blanket statement about how all homeless are and then lump me into that, that doesn't work. Sorry. I try to answer all my comments in a good natured attitude, I suppose. But sometimes it's hard. Like, you know, but the way I look at it is I'm trying to educate people. I'm trying to do this, this lifestyle with the YouTube channel by educating people and helping people out. So that's where my heart is with it. And also I'm kind of chronicling my life as is, you know, going through what I'm going through, because I know other people have gone through it or will go through it. And if I can make it easier for them, that's what I'm going to do. Anyway, hope your road is a good one. And if you're homeless, I hope your life doesn't suck. Maintain a good attitude. Hobo Yeti, signing off.